In a previous video, one of the things that I said that I do to help my ADHD was making my life work for my ADHD. Now, that can look a lot of different ways for different people, obviously, depending on your needs, wants, and desires. However, I thought it would be helpful to share how I make my life work for my ADHD and see if that gives you any ideas. Let's jump right in. The best thing that I do for my habits is I give myself choices. So instead of saying like, do I want to exercise or do I not want to exercise? I might say, do I want to walk on my walking pad or do I want to do a Peloton ride? For instance, when it comes to flossing, it's not, do I want to floss or do I not want to floss? The question is, do I want to use my water pick or do I want to use a flossing pick? Giving options like that ensures that you do the thing, and it is really helpful for your brain to feel like you have agency and you're making a choice, and it just, I have found, works really, really well for me. The other thing that I do when it comes to habits is start slow and low. I never aim to do something every single day. I've never been able in my entire life to do something every single day, except maybe like brushing my teeth. That's like the only thing. But when it comes to like working out or reading or anything that you like want to do, like a no screen day, I don't know, don't aim for every day because that's just going to set yourself up for failure. And when you inevitably fail, because we all know it is not a if we fail with our habits or fall off the wagon, it is when. Don't make it a thing. Do not beat yourself up. Do not be like, oh my gosh, I just realized I haven't worked out in like 2 weeks. I don't know what happened. I was on such a good train and now it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't even start again because I feel so bad. Don't do that. Instead, go, oh my gosh, I realized I haven't worked out in 2 weeks. That's crazy. I can't believe I totally forgot about that. I'm definitely going to start again tomorrow. I find that when you have ADHD for myself and habits, I'm going to do them like cyclically. So it just makes sense if I know that eventually I'm going to forget about it and take a break. Why would I be mean to myself about that? Because then it's going to be even harder to start again. So instead, I just kind of, oh, oops, forgot about my habit. And then I just start again when I feel ready. And it is so much easier. It is way, way easier. So that's definitely a huge one. The other thing that I do is make it minimum. If you're going to work on habits, please, please, please start with one at a time and do not add in a second habit until you have that first one down, like good, very well. I would say 3 months at least. You need to go low and slow because guess what? Doing 1 to 2 things whatever your frequency is for 6 months is better than saying, I'm going to do 6 things, doing those 6 things for 14 days and then never doing them again. So I found that if I go really slow and I add in one new habit at a time and I evaluate it and I see how I like it and I wait until I just like feel really good about it to add in another one, it helps so much. I have really been able to actually work on habits like flossing, something I haven't done. Like growing up, I never flossed, and like till I was like 28, I was like, I gotta figure this out. And I just took my time and I went slow. And now I have like really no problem flossing. I do a generally really good job. So go low and go slow. The other thing that is really important is find out what you value, what's important to you right now, and go from there. If you are going to say, I'm going to floss, have a reason why. Make sure you know why, because guess what? If you don't have a very strong reason why you want to do something, it's not going to last. When times get tough and your brain is saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, you can remind yourself of why you started in the first place, which I feel like everybody says, but I actually do that, and it is really helpful because guess what? The things that I've done that I have a strong why, I've been able to keep up. I've been able to do them. It's been not easy. It's been a process. It's been long, but when times get tough, I remember why I'm doing this, and it's very helpful to give me that push to continue. The other thing that's really important, I learned this from Arnold Schwarzenegger. The voice in your head that is going to talk you out of doing anything hard is never going to go away. You all know Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's this quote where he says, every single day, the little voice in my head says, I want to eat pancakes and lay on the couch. And his advice is to ignore it. You are never going to overcome it. It is a strong voice. And this is Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? That is a strong voice in your head. So me knowing that the goal is not to overcome that voice, the goal is not to have that voice not be there. The goal is to ignore it. The goal is to know that that voice is going to come in whenever you're going to decide to do something hard and tell you, we don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. The goal is to ignore it and do it anyways, because your brain always wants you to be comfortable. It always wants things to be be easy breezy beautiful for you. And doing hard things is uncomfortable. So of course your brain has a safety mechanism to say, I don't want to do that. And that's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. If you have overcame that voice, please let me know in the comments, but I would almost be willing to guarantee that any single person you talk to says that they have that voice still, no matter how disciplined they are, no matter how much they make themselves uncomfortable and do hard things. The voice does not go away because it's your brain's protection mechanism. And it's okay. We're not going to get mad at it. We're just going to understand that that's the way our brain functions and ignore it. We're going to do the hard thing anyways. We're going to make ourselves uncomfortable because guess what? It's super worth it. Every single time I do something hard and uncomfortable, it is extremely worth it. The other thing that I do is rotate my routines and my self-care. So during the winter, I have a certain routine that I like to do, and it is at night. During the summer, I have a different routine that I like to do, and it's in the morning. Sometimes I scrap both of those and do an afternoon routine. I think that knowing that your routines can be cyclical and change with the seasons and kind of ebb and flow with what you're into right now and what you care about right now is a beautiful thing. And we should not get upset at ourselves for that. And we should not be mad that we were doing something and then we stopped. We should just go with the flow and do what feels good and right in that moment. And that means adjusting and changing and making fine tunes to your habits and your routines all the time. Anytime. You're always welcome to change up a routine. I know some people would argue with me that that's not possible, but for me, that is what I do, and that is how it works. I know this now. It took me a while to learn that, like, in winter, I like certain things. In summer, I like to do certain things. Sometimes I just scrap it all and do something totally different. The important part is I'm taking care of myself through the entire thing. So going along with that, another thing that's really helpful is don't follow neurotypical rules around when you have to do things. You do not have to brush your teeth in the morning and at night. You can brush your teeth in the middle of the day. You can brush your teeth after lunch. You don't have to follow rules for when to do things. Just do them when it feels good to you, when you think of it, when it fits into your life. Do it then. Knowing that I could say, screw the rules, those are not for me, was very helpful when it came to building my routines and habits and just looking at the way that I take care of myself.